Dear Crystal, brought to you by Uniball. Start your story.
Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome to another episode of Dear Crystal, where I am your favorite host and your only host, Crystal Luster. Today we have a letter that was emailed in from Rita. I just wanted to say your name like that. So, Dear Crystal, hey girl, I really like your videos and I'm glad you take time to respond to our letters. Well, it's my pleasure, Rita. Makes it feel like a real community. That is always my goal. So I wanted to ask about careers. Okay. I'm working currently at a job that I hate. Well, Rita, I think a lot of us have been there. Lord knows I have. I make decent money to pay my bills. Snaps to paying your bills though, but I'm miserable. There's the rub. I have a few hobbies I love, but I'm not sure where to start with making money. How can I turn my passion into a sustainable career? Any advice would be appreciated. Have a great day, Rita. Well, Rita, my girl, let me tell you some things. First of all, thank you for your courage and sharing where you are. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. Lord knows, again, I have related to it several times in my life. Unless you're like 5, and I'm not sure how my video came up on your feed at 5, but kids, if you're not working, if all you have to do is clean your room, please just clean your room, because paying bills is ghetto, okay? It's really ghetto. Paying taxes is ghetto. I'm not gonna run down the whole thing of what I hate paying for, but I'm just saying, if you can just live it up wherever you are, doing what you do, just live it up, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, back to responsibilities, or responsibilities, as Tommy Pickles would say. I think that there are plenty of different ways that you can dive into and dissect the idea of turning your passion into profit, or profitizing your passion, however you want to say it in whatever cute cliche way. But I think one of the biggest things that I have always honed in on when I'm looking at something I'm super passionate about and trying to figure out how to turn it into an income stream is always identifying or creating demand, right? That is how profit works. That's how the marketplace works. If you see a demand, or if you see a problem and you can find a solution to that problem, it creates a demand. Or if there's a demand in a marketplace and you can put your own spin on whatever that supply is, then you can create a profit. That is the goal, because that's how we pay for things, is making sure that we have a profit, right? And so let's say if you were really good at planting flowers and getting them to grow, right? That's a hobby. That's something that you love. That's something that you're good at. Your flowers are healthy and colorful and they grow stronger, whatever flowers do, because I'm not really a plant person, but I promise I'm trying to be. Stay tuned for more of that. Let's say if that's your hobby, right? You love to plant flowers. Well, a lot of people love flowers, and people like me are not very good at growing them, but they want flowers in their home or in their gardens, whatever it is. So there is a whole market of people who go out to farmers markets, who go to flower shops, who go to the grocery store, wherever flowers are sold or plants are sold, and they buy them so that they can take them and put them in their own home or their own gardens or whatever it is. And so like there's something, I'm sure somebody one day was just like, oh, I have flowers and I love making flowers, or growing flowers, planting flowers, and putting these arrangements together and all these different things. And then like in my neighborhood when I was growing up, there was this lady who had her own business that she ran out of her house, and she grew plants, and then people would come and buy the plants that she grew because she did all the legwork. She did all of the hard work in making sure that the ground was fertile and all of these different things. I'm not going to get into a long tangent about that, but she took her hobby, something that she really enjoys, and she turned it into a profit by solving a problem of the people in the area who did not know or didn't have the capacity to grow their own flowers, right? And so again, going back to my whole point, identifying what the demand is and creating a demand if you don't really see one in the marketplace. Let me see if I can think of a good example of something like that. Something that's not necessarily a problem, or at least not a big problem. For example, popcorn. I love flavored popcorn, all right? But you can get popcorn anywhere. You don't necessarily have to go to a specialty shop for flavored popcorn. However, it's usually hard to find fancy flavors, except for when you go to a specialty popcorn shop. So you can go to your local grocery store and get cheddar, you can get caramel, you can get hot, but are you gonna get zesty pickle? Are you going to get strawberry shortcake? No, you usually get those at a specialty shop. And so it's not necessarily solving this huge problem like when we needed toilet paper during the pandemic. We're not gonna get into that, but it did solve another problem, or it created a demand for people who enjoy different flavors and different options. So now, and then if your product is good, now people are coming. So going back to whatever your hobby is, you didn't necessarily give me any examples, but if you have a hobby, I would ask yourself the questions: is there already a demand for this hobby? And if there isn't, how can my hobby solve a problem that's out there, right? That's where you start. And then you can start searching different questions, doing some research about, who is involved in this hobby? What problem does it solve? Who's buying it? What marketplaces? Is there something else in the marketplace that's like what I'm doing? Are there other people who are doing what I love to do? And if so, are they making a profit? What systems are they using? Are they social media influencers? Do they have a brick and mortar store? Different things like that. Always find a benchmarker. So those are the two nuggets that I'll share. Identify the demand, or you can figure out how to create a demand that solves the problem, and then find someone else who's doing something similar or the same thing. And then the last thing would be add your secret sauce, because at the same time, right, I'm not the only person on YouTube. I'm not the only person on any platforms. You all are subscribed to several different people who do reaction videos, who respond to letters, who, all the things that I do. There are plenty of people who do them, but they don't do them exactly like me, because there's only one me. So your secret sauce plus your creating demand or identifying demand, and then looking at doing research and looking at someone who's doing what you're doing, and then figure out, how can I do it in my own way? That's how you start. And then just stay consistent is my honest opinion. So if anybody else has anything to share, community, drop it in the comments. Also, one of my favorite things, last note, and shameless plug, because we had to pay some bills, again, back to the beginning. I love my job, so I'm happy to pay these bills, and I hope that you are too. Shout out to our sponsors, Uniball, for sponsoring this series, Dear Crystal. You can start your story, and that's one of the things that I absolutely love to do is strategize. When I tell you, I keep notebooks on me at all times. There are literally 3 on this table right now, but I am constantly strategizing. I'm constantly writing out ideas, doing research, seeing who else is talking about what I'm talking about, seeing who else is doing what I'm doing, and how I can improve what they're doing, or how I can improve what I'm doing based on what they're doing, so forth. Always write it out. Use Uniball pens to write it out, because they're amazing. And good luck. I can't wait to hear how you are no longer miserable and creating a life that you deserve and that you desire through all the work that you're doing. So if anybody else has any questions or any notes or lines that they want to drop me, please feel free, because I cannot wait to read the next letter. Love you so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Send in your letter for some fun advice at mydearchristal@gmail.com.